Whatever. But
Are we live?
yes, we are live indeed. Good sir.
Bush did 9/11.
Okay, I'm gonna just stop the broadcast now. I'm gonna just stop the broadcast now. You know what? Never mind. Let's not stop the broadcast. Let me not stop the broadcast. I'm wanting to sabotage my stream. Anyway.
I am just hella ignorant.
Indeed you are. Oh. Date. Date. Do I still have my outfits? I would like to have my same. There's a lot of outfits in this game now. But, alright. So, my stance is taken up with like Yagami being the betterman and protagonist between Senku.
I get what you're doing. You're putting anti-heroes against each other. So you're not doing like the basic shonen hero. You're going for the anti-heroes.
Well,
so,
yeah, neither of them are legitimate. They both have their ideals, and they both stand by those. What?
If we're doing anti-heroes, we could throw Jotaro in there. Because yes, he's saving the world, but he's not the hero.
Why do you think him and Dio's stance are so similar? Because they're similar people.
I put these two in the title. Can we at least stick to the plot?
Yeah. Yeah. So
are very different.
They had the same upbringing.
I put these two in the title. Can we at least focus on the two we're supposed to focus on?
A mother who
Joestar spoon up his butt.
Dio had to spoon up his butt till his mother died.
Where has this conversation gone already?
Dio had everything until his mother died. They both have extreme love for mothers, not really anything for their father. They have similarities.
This was supposed to be a discussion about two completely different people, just to see who was the betterman and protagonist. And then it turned into a JoJo's topic. How? Literally how? We're not even 5 minutes into the stream.
Everything is a JoJo reference.
No, it's not. Stop.
Alright, you breathing? Alright, that's how I'm on.
Right.
Okay, so this is gonna be split into 3 categories. Motivation, the due process that gets them to the third part, which is the end game. Now, of course, it's not fair to Senku to compare where their end games bring them, but like,
Yeah. Alright, Lena got light. You got
nigga.
I'm still standing by my girl Tanya. I'm standing by my girl Tanya.
We are.
Can I go on the wiki and like brush up real quick?
No, you have to watch her. You have to watch her be evil.
Definitely not. That is a big red flag.
Okay, so do you want to take up the discussion first?
Who, me?
No, obviously the person taking up the side of Senku.
Oh.
Oh no, I don't want Senku.
What? But
I don't want him.
You have to do it, Senku.
No.
I'm about to say, I'm taking the side of Light, whom you said was not a better protagonist.
Alright, go. Yeah, everything so yes.
Should I just rename the stream because now this is just a hindrance for no reason?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Senku doesn't even match up with those 3 though.
I mean, he has a good motivation and his.
Tanya are all in the same like
Evil dickheads.
Okay, so we can go motivation. Their means of going about doing so. Yeah, the execution. But since Senku's story isn't over, we can't judge end, is what you're getting at, right?
You're right. Right. And then he doesn't even fit in with being a anti-hero as much as Tanya, Light.
Okay, so do we just judge personality then? And compare it to other shonen? Are you sure we can't do personality? Because even though, and I know you're someone who reads the manga for a lot of things, even though the story for Senku isn't fleshed out very, very far yet, we're on season 2 of the anime technically. So you have an ample amount of stuff to work with to be able to tell his personality. Okay, we'll just go with the first bracket, all right, and see how those compare against one another. So, Light Yagami, motivation, just being a normal high school student at first, and then acquiring the power to change the world. And he most certainly went around and used it for that. His motivations change from time to time, from being literally just someone to be like the betterment of society as a whole, and then he wanted to rule the world. The power got to him and corrupted him. Now, when you get that kind of motivation and you compare it to any kind of shonen protagonist before him, you think, oh, wow, this guy is different. We actually have something of a villain as the main character, which is nice. Light Yagami being the protagonist in this case brings a new light onto the shonen genre. Because never in the past before, I don't believe, have we had an anime protagonist that wasn't a part of the good side, or at least didn't go to being a part of the good side like many others would have been. Because think about like... Huh? Yeah, but when you think about that, then it's just like, motivation-wise, he's extremely similar to a lot of other protagonists that have come before him. But his execution of doing so, which is the second thing we're moving into doing at the moment, is just like so different from any type of other shonen protagonist before him that it's just like you have to respect the fact that he is his own character. Now, when getting into that, his motivations and his way of carrying out his motivations are dark, respectively so. And when you think about that, it's just like, do you side with this man just because he's a different kind of protagonist, or do you side with him, or do you side with his antagonist, which is the hero of the story, technically, L or Nier? And I, for one, because Light takes a different approach to this genre, think that he's a much better person to stay on the side of. Wait, what? I don't think Eren Yeager fits in this discussion.
He said if he was caught up with the manga.
Oh, you mean anti-hero Eren?
I mean villain Eren. I would call him an anti-hero. I'm like evil.
Right, but Lilik, are you continue what you saying, or are you finished?
As far as motivations go, yeah, I can't say more about Light Yagami besides the fact of he carried through with his ambition all the way until his death, which is a very, very respectable thing in any shonen, especially considering the fact that they actually killed him off, which is another unexpected thing.
I knew he was gonna die. I saw that as soon as he got his high on power after killing L. I knew he was.
I thought after L was gone that was the end, because as previously established, there was no one in the world that could compete with L's intelligence.
Yep, and with him gone, you think the bad guy wins, which honestly is how it should have ended.
It is.
With Kidder winning, because
I mean, Light had everything in the palm of his hand. Even when he had to sacrifice things, everything played into his hands.
And we still fumbled the ball.
When Nier came into the picture, his ambition was technically complete and he had nothing more really to go for. It was just like, hey, you remind me of L, and if you stand in my way, I'll kill you too. And he was unfortunate enough to not be able to, well, make good on that threat. Although, at the end of the day, Death Note ended with the, well, this is the real one. No, this is the real one. No, this is the real one. No, you see, you thought that one was the real one, but that one was actually a fake. And even if you knew that was a fake, I had a fake one that you thought was the original.
That is exactly it.
Yep. Anyway, your stance on Senku, please.
But he, like I said earlier, very selfish with it.
You said what?
I said when it comes to Senku he's very selfish with it. That even the first 10 chapters, first 6 episodes, you see he manipulates the village people with
Ramen.
his words. Oh, ramen, but
Hey, Foxtail ramen was good, even though I've never tried it and I have no intention of trying it. Senku himself said it was horrible.
it looked like it.
But proceed, please.
He goes about it in a very selfish way, and it's more of because his dad was great.
You say it looked like he wanted to do it because his dad wanted it to happen?
No, his dad was astronaut, really great guy, and Senku's just trying to relive in those footsteps, but he's doing it the Boruto way in a way, where it comes off.
Oh God, you've opened an entire can.
No,
we don't need that.
This ain't Boruto. Doesn't. I'm not bringing in that, but he's trying. It's like I'm trying to think of like explanation for it. He's trying to do good,
but he doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing, basically. Like,
right.
He knows how to get there, but ethically he doesn't know what he's doing. Or at least he refuses to admit that he doesn't know what he's doing. Because when it came to...
Definitely, he will not admit that he doesn't know what he's doing.
When it came to the Yuzuriha situation on the volcano, you saw a bit of care in his eyes, even though I'm pretty sure he didn't give a shit. But if Yuzuriha went, there went Taiju as well.
Life or death situation for him. The only reason why he cared.
Plus, you can't really compare Senku and his father in any way, shape, or form. Their motivations are different, their aspirations are different, and really, I think Byakuya's dead already.
Is it my turn?
What do you mean?
Alright. Tanya Van. I don't know how to say her last name because it's German.
Here comes a new challenger.
Shut up. I hate you so much. Alright. Tanya is a very complex character. She has very large superiority and inferiority complexes. Alright, first off, she's a sociopath. She is cold and very cackling. And have either one of you heard of the Chicago School of Economy?
No.
The Chicago School of Economy, it states that everything is a price. Tanya sees every human being as a resource to her, a profitable resource.
Huh, sounds like this anime I watched called C.
And what she can use to raise her own value. Everything she and the whole anime is about her fucking versus God, which is wild itself. She don't even call him God. She calls him Being X, because she doesn't believe in God.
I don't know if I even brought up the fact that Kira wanted to be the god of the new world, so to speak. I just said that he got the power to change the world and did so, but move on.
Wait. That nigga could have ran everything.
Could have, yeah, but as Chris has said already, he got overconfident with Nier.
But and a lot of the, I guess, people she goes against, they underestimate her because she's a fucking 9-year-old.
No, she has the appearance of a 9-year-old, but she is.
I know. She was killed in her previous life, but in this world, she's 9. Fuck the previous life shit.
Concept.
Bro, kids be dangerous. Have you seen the kids in Naruto?
We don't talk about the kids in Naruto.
But Tanya, is also known as the Devil of the Rhine and the 11th Goddess, which are two very condescending names, titles.
Oh wait, we were just supposed to be stuck on motivations at the moment.
Oh, her motivation is to kill God and to live a peaceful life because she doesn't believe in God, and God killed her. And God killed her, and God stopped time to talk to him and to kill him, and then brought him back as a little girl. So yes, he has a vendetta against God, and God puts all of what?
That is a very odd. That's a very odd motivation. Like, I was a guy in my previous life. I died to bullshit, and now I want to kill God. It's odd.
Yeah. God had a whole conversation with them too about him believing in God, and he just said he doesn't believe, and all of the reasons he didn't believe. And God was like, okay, how about I bring you back as a little girl in a world full of poverty, and let's see if you believe in me then. And then he brought her back. Well, he brought him back as Tanya, you know, the little devil that we know and love. And just like Yoshikage Kira, she just wants to live a peaceful life. She wants to make it to the top of the military and won't have to do anything. But God keeps making her go on the battlefield to risk her life. And God is a dick, just like in fucking Supernatural in this anime. Because when she's battling with people, God will give the person unlike human abilities to go against her. So her motivation is to kill God because, you know, he dicked her over. And to live a peaceful life with using any person she has to, not worry about their feelings or anything.
Alright, so I think that is personally, between the three, motivational, you know, whatever they had as their means to an end, I think I'm giving that to our surprise third competitor.
Oh, which her wants to fucking kill God?
Well, not only just that, but the reasons why. I mean, when you think about it, Light really only wants to change the world and didn't really give a solid reason as to why until the final episode, which is stupid.
No, he had his motivation after once he got his death note.
No. I'm saying, like, he got the motivation, but the reason behind the motivation was only given to us after, well, he was caught.
Like, towards his dying moment, exactly.
Yeah, which is like, that's too long. Like, I get your motivation.
Why? But yeah, it took too long.
Like, yeah, I get your motivation, but why did it take? Like, let me see. He got the Death Note and started using it on episode 2, at latest.
He got it in 1. He rejected it, and then he used it the first time in 2, and after that is when everything just started.
Yeah, and then what episode is it? 24 or 25 or 30 something? Towards the very end, not even towards, at the very end of the series, we finally see why. Like, only I can do it, and that's such a shallow reason. But moving forward.
No, when he said only he could do it, I understand why, because no one thinks like Yagami.
Yeah, he's a realist. He's a realist.
IQ, he knew nobody had the guts, nobody had the brain.
Yeah, because subconsciously, people are afraid of incarceration or death. And Light is just like, hey, I'll gladly take this on, because if I do and I win, then I rule the world. And I have the brains to do so.
He did. He had the brains. He was easily able to manipulate the police force.
Oh my God!
Right? On his there,
For too long, mind you.
El had him. He was like, I know you're Kira, but he didn't have the evidence to prove that he was. And I gave him points. But Protagonist wasn't there, so he took the L.
Yeah, it was one of those scenarios. It's just like the show went on too long, and they needed it to end. So I'm pretty sure that is why Light died in the end. But moving on.
If he would have won, it would have been.
Wait, and also, just on another point, after he brings Tanya back, he keeps trying to make her believe, just like the Catholic churches did back in the day, way back before Lutheran was like, he wrote his 73 shit. So basically, he's trying to make her believe in him because by torturing him, yeah. And yeah, that's basically it. He tries to make her believe by torturing her and giving her trials and tribulations for no reason.
Ha ha! Gravity was on my side.
Okay, Poochie. Okay, what's the second category?
Second category is like what they use to get to their end game. You know what I mean? Like the methods they used. No.
I fucking hate you.
God damn you. Because
Like,
Light did the same thing. We have to speak in depth about it now. Light did the exact same thing. Intelligence.
Like, what do you mean what they did to reach their end game?
Okay, so think about this. Like, Light did all of this literally just to rule the world. And I say just like it's a small thing, but he managed to live a life that got him out of high school, got him into the police force, made him corrupt the police force, and continue his work right under their noses, as well as killed the best detective in the world, and then was about to kill the second and third best detectives in the world. Literally all so he could make the world a better place, only in his own image. His image being literally just so he could get rid of war, get rid of hatred, and combine them all under a unified society of fear that would never try anything that would get on his bad side.
Yeah, I'm Hitler.
Because if they got on his bad side, they knew they were dead. And that's how the world stayed for at least 4 years, they said, right?
Yeah. After L died, 4 years.
And then it's just like this high school kid, teen, whatever you want to call him at that point in time.
He put Shikamaru in his shame. Like, Shikamaru had to really use his brain played in Naruto, but
Light Deus Ex Machina to his way to being the ruler of the world. And he did it right.
yeah,
Because he had no business being the ruler of the world. And yet everything he did, he calculated to perfection.
No. He made too many mistakes.
At the end, yes.
When Hunter and Misa were locked up, yes, he was in a tight bind and almost got caught. But he played his cards right, got rejected his memories up to them, knowing he's dead, got the powers back.
Get up, yes! I win!
Alright.
I'll be back. Terminator reference, yes.
Alright.
But, wait, did I already... Oh, wait, hold on. Before I do this, quick summation. He killed everyone that got in his way, everyone that was a menace to society besides himself, and even recruited those who not even saw his vision of the world, just respected him so much for even attempting to do what he did that they legitimately joined his side, which I'd say was his downfall. He allied himself with too many people that didn't know what they were doing.
Almost definitely. For example, Misa, Amane.
Okay, Misa did good though because she had the eyes. with only a bit more guidance, he would have won with only Misa alone.
Oh yeah, for sure. Using the Ishigami eyes.
Yeah.
He should have used them himself.
He didn't want to take half of the years off of his life, because if he would have done that, Kira's reign would have been shorter, and thus that would have been displeasing, you know? Because I can't change the world if I die too early.
You're right. And thinking about it, if everything stays the same except that his lifespan gets cut in half, the show would have ended a lot sooner.
Oh, right! Because it said, when you use the Shinigami eyes, no matter when you are set to die, not die of old age or illness, when you are set to die, it's cut in half. Meaning,
right.
Oh my god, that's what also makes Light a great character. He had an opportunity for power, and he turned it down because he knew logically he could win, and he did, until he didn't. Yeah. And he honestly won until he didn't. Okay, next is Senku, and then right back to our
Fucking
third challenge.
Nazi.
Okay.
Protagonist.
Card reflects light. Don't hit him directly. German scientists directed the one.
Alright.
Starline was a character, alright.
Alright, now Senku's execution.
Yeah.
Y'all ever see Fire?
Oh my god, we're not starting on this.
That's pretty much it. Pretty much it.
Yeah, and we get a reasonable explanation from you.
Alright, we're gonna switch out. We're gonna switch out Chris's character. We're gonna switch out Chris's character midway through. Alright, Chris Code Vein, go. I said Code Vein. Jesus, Code Geass.
Let me tell y'all. This is a story.
All about how.
Little Bob Britannia turned the whole country of Japan upside down.
Please stop already. Please, no. No, none of this. No fresh fucking king of Japan.
Tell us about Lucius.
This is so dangerous. That's why you're going to live with our
Wait.
Be serious.
No, I know. I don't. Okay, I've never watched Code Geass, but I know that the plot is contrived as shit. Because many people complain about the main character being way too strong, but he does it right.
Oh, he does. Because he doesn't, he's nerfed in a way. Only being able to use Geass on someone once.
He can only use it once?
Yeah, so say he uses it on Jonte, you can't use it on Jonte again.
So basically, it's like the Death Note. If you're gonna use it, you're using it to kill someone.
Right. You can't be like, give him cancer, let him die long. No, you gotta show the execution right then and there.
Yeah, okay, so maybe he would have been a much better match for this discussion.
Yeah, I said that earlier.
Wait, no, I thought I said Code Geass first. Like, you were getting to it, and then I legitimately said it.
There's so much more.
Either or. Anyway, I
Damn
got
it.
one for the loose. Alright, his dad, horrible. Had his mom killed, yada yada yada. His brother became Prince of Britannia.
I love how you have to start from motivation again, though.
Oh, his motivation, yes. Because and then Britannia invades Japan, takes it over. Japan becomes 13. Oh, that's the second code, alright? Yep, 13.
Are you gonna move forward with this?
I was doing something on make he uses it to protect C2, and from there But he raided the military in the area near where him and his sister went to school, which is like low empty level.
Yeah.
Imagine having a little sister and care about that, even though your village still be good.
Continue.
Oh my god! I got cheated out of that. But, so his motivation is he...
Honestly, his motivation was just to get him back at Britannia. That scared me. For one, killing his mom, his dad, who's king of Britannia, for having his mom killed, and two, he already killed his older brother, his brother, because letting their mom get killed like that was cruel, very unnecessary. What next? He does it. He unites Britannia and Japan as Japan again, which is great. And from there, he proceeds to ruin the nation so bad that they hate him and they want him dead. And he stages his own death with his best friend Suzaku. And when Suzaku kills him the first time, country in peace, they're celebrating. Yay, Lelouch is dead.
Well, I dragged him down with me, so there's that. So basically, his motivation is to get back at a portion of the world.
Get back at his corrupt side of his family.
Okay, so typical shonen, basically. Typical revenge shonen at that.
Yeah, let's get Naruto. You get the opportunity because if I was Naruto, I'd beat my finger. You know why? Then I tell Spock today that's not lying.
I didn't ask to have this inside my belly.
Exactly. That's the whole thing with them.
But yeah, so motivation-wise, so far Code Geass is kind of losing out to Death Note, Dr. Stone.
Well, yeah, because his motivation gets lost, and his motivation actually
he accomplishes it, doesn't he?
And he accomplishes it early, and he sets a new goal, which
world domination.
On the path towards not even world domination, world peace for his country, which he achieves in his second death, which is a public execution, well, assassination.
Wait, he dies twice?
Yes. The first time he fakes his death.
Okay, Avdol.
Second time he actually dies.
Okay, Avdol. Does he have a Hell to You arc as well?
I mean, when he was leading the country.
Okay, is it on me now? Hey, now what are we doing? Execution?
Yeah. No, the execution of getting to the end game, basically.
Not the whole military. Alright, Tadia. So with the world she's brought back in, it's full of poverty.
Oh wait, hold on. We went out of order. Let me literally just say this. Senku, the way he got to the end. Science! Okay, proceed.
The way Tanya, so in the world, there's poverty, and the only way to really get high up in the world is with the military. And this world has magic abilities in it, and the military uses it for war. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas be evil. And Tanya, like Eddie, she was raised in an orphanage, by the way. Emma can relate, but
oh my God, no, we are not talking about this.
But she was raised in an orphanage, and in the orphanage they test your magical capabilities to see if you can go to the military to have a better life. Because you don't want to be an orphan until you're 18.
Also very Attack on Titan-ish.
Yeah.
This is very relatable to a lot of different animes, yeah.
And when she got tested for her magical abilities, her shit was off the charts, and she thought of back to Chicago, the school thing I said again. She was gonna use the military to make her way up because she just saw them as a price to go high up in the world. And her how she does this, she uses the law a lot because yes, she's evil. Yes, she wants what she wants, but when it comes to the military, she's fucking to the books.
Wow.
She does a deep.
That's what I love so much about Overhaul in My Hero.
That's why Light is better than a lot of other protagonists, because he got to a point to where he didn't, like, okay, he had rules until L was gone. Then all rules went out the window that he himself had made.
But she also uses, she uses God against herself because there's magic in the world, and there was this new magic jewel, and she has it because it's being tested because it's called the Alenium Type 95. And God being a dick, so God basically stopped time. Was like, okay, anytime you want to use this overpowered thing, you have to say a prayer to me. She was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Wow, make your own overpowered ability literally only for your worst enemy to put a crutch on it.
I have to pray to you.
Hail
to use it. L to you. But yeah, and yeah, wait. First off, God. Alright, y'all thought Dio was good at being evil. God is like, I got this in the bag.
In this anime, you mean?
In this anime, and when God talks to her, he stops time, just like Dio, and he takes over in the closest living thing. So like if it's a human next to her, God will start speaking through the human. Or if it's a toy, the toy will start talking. Cause it's fucking God. But like Senku uses science, she uses the military to raise up the ranks. And as she's raising up the ranks, God is still, being an asshole. Which, I'm sorry, that is just so funny. Just God being an ass, because God is seen as this revered figure of all good, and anime is just like, no.
Like, no, there needs to be room for our protagonist. Stop it.
But, whatever she uses,
unless there's those animes where the protagonist is extremely close to God, which are Google.
Whenever she uses the jewel for her motivation, she suffers from having horrible mental corruptions, and the rosary on her neck stops her. Oh yeah, she also has a rosary that God made her wear so she can't overuse the jewel.
Okay, how many rules are being established just so they can be broken?
It's God. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. You gonna tell him he can't be an asshole? Alright, look at Taya. Now she's
introduce the Death Note to that series and watch what happens.
This nigga Light will go crazy.
Not even Light, literally just the Death Note itself.
Oh, Tanya would just take out all of the military's enemies. But long story short, she uses the military.
Are you sure? Because you need to have a name and a face.
Yeah. But yeah, she uses the military to raise to the ranks and the jewel that God gave her.
Could you imagine if Light had L's name the entire time, Lind Taylor, but just the wrong face?
God, you know how crazy that shit would be.
Like, if the fake spokesperson that was on the TV was actually using L's real name, but because it wasn't L, Light just thought, okay, that name was obviously fake.
Oh yeah, and if any of her, since she's a commander, if any of her soldiers make her look like a bad general and get her demoted or anything, she makes it seem like she's just sending them away, sending them to the back lines to, be safe and stuff. No, she sends them to a bunker. She fucking has them bombed. So she takes out her own people for her own gain. Yeah, that's my little Nazi.
God, what a fuck little pony that is.
Bro, they're German in his world. Wait, which World War is this? She fights in World War One,
you
right?
fool!
They're not Nazis yet. No, I'm talking about Italia.
Oh.
It's not okay. They're not Nazis. It's no. All right, you cool. But I feel like Light wins this one.
Yeah, the way he goes about
Because
it.
Light executes, not only, yeah, he dies in the end just like Lelouch, but he's one of those characters where he grows on you, and it becomes the Dexter effect where you want him to win, but then you remember, hey, wait up, you the bad guy.
Yeah. Hey, y'all ever play free-for-all games and literally have 3 different people teaming up with other 3 people, and it's literally just like who can suicide with you the most, and you just hate yourself the entire time?
Yes.
Apparently, y'all never seen me play Smash.
I have.
Oh God.
We all know. Once things stop going in my favor, I go brain dead.
Duh.
Can I talk about another villain that I love so much?
Sure.
I mean, after we get the end game talked about for you know, like.
See, but let's say problem with Senku. Talia doesn't really reach her end game of killing God.
Wait, that story's not over yet?
No, like I think let me refire the last her YouTube go. Let me refresh myself on the final manga chapters, because if I remember correctly, she never killed them. So legally, you go.
So end game for Light Yagami. Disappointing as though it is, the man did actually change the world for 5 years. He won. Until he didn't, I say again. And even though he did die, Kira will always have a place in the world. Because war had stopped, the crime rate had gone down significantly in Japan. And I think Kira's name, at least, or at least the thought of Kira, will stop those who were going through with crime from going through with it for a long time, even after his death. So he changed the world, and he did what he set out to do. And even though he is dead and gone, and it was kind of bullshit how he died, because he probably could have made it out of that situation with his life if Ryu didn't write his name down. Probably.
No. Those were the rules. Rules are rules.
The
rule, like, I don't remember him setting a rule with Ryu, because it's like, hey, if I lose this game between Kira and the police, write my name down. I don't remember that.
No, the thing is, when a user of a Death Note, when it's their time to die, the Ishigami that they're with.
Oh, right. It was reportedly his time to die. And since Ryu has the eyes of the Shinigami, he was going to die there.
And you remember, before that whole confrontation, Ryuk is laughing because he knows Light is not coming out of this one alive.
You're right, because when they were heading there, Ryu just couldn't stop crackling up, could he?
No, he could
just
not.
Like just watching the time run out. So he knew. So he was literally only there literally just to see how Light lost, if not into his own life.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And then when Light gets shot and he's crawling away, Ryuk writes his name. He says
it was fun while it lasted.
A fun ride. And after that, the 40 seconds pass. You see Misa on the train, and once Light walks up on the stairs, he has the heart attack and he dies.
Before he dies, he sees the vision of L. That's just like, my friend and my greatest rival. I'll be seeing you soon, even though he doesn't.
Oh no, he wasn't. He was gonna end up a Ishigami because he was a Death Note.
No. We don't know if he ended up being a Shinigami. We know that he went to the Shinigami realm.
Ryuk's words were, users of the Death Note, when they die,
don't go to hell or heaven.
Not go to heaven. Exactly.
That doesn't mean he ends up as a Shinigami. He could end up in limbo.
Which is even horrible.
Yeah, it's just like. But I saw, and this is going off topic, and once this video hits the stream, hits the hour mark, I'm cutting it. Well, as soon as that gets there. But I saw this alternative fan manga ending. What if Light won that confrontation? And
Nier was dead, and he'd be free to rule the world.
You see, that happened, and then one day, Light's just like, Ryuk, kill me. Just like, huh? Like some...
Well, that's just horrible writing, because like Yagami, I know would never just die.
No, he say he's tired of living a life that just takes other people's lives over and over and over. And then, like that was it. No, his words exactly were, I'm tired of a life that keeps on taking the lives of others. And so Ryuk says, is this the end of all the amusement? And he says, it is. And just, all right. Writes his name down, and he goes to the Shinigami realm. And just like, so this is what the Shinigami realm is. And then he gets a heart attack. And he falls, and he's dead. He wakes up again. And he questions what happened. And then he gets hit by a train. He wakes up again, just like, so this is the fate of those who use the Death Note. I have to suffer through all the deaths that I've caused other people before what? And Ryuk just says, and then that's the end. You'll fade out of existence or whatever. So, limbo.
Golden Experience Requiem.
And then Light starts laughing like he went insane. And Ryuk says he went insane from the fear. But Light's just like, he says, 1,207,861. 862. He's just like, huh? That's how many people I've killed with the Death Note in summation. So that gives me plenty of time. He's just like, what are you? You see, Ryuk, I'm going to find the Shinigami King, and I'm going to strike a deal with him. You're just like, and if I can't do that, then I'll kill him myself. So it's just like, even in death, Kira reigns over the world. Even if it's not Earth. And I love that concept. Because even if he doesn't have the Death Note, he has the means to do so. He's intelligent. And he has to die over 100,000 more times. That means he can get damn close a number of times before that number is expired. All in all, whether that was the end or not, Light's end was beautiful. And it was the way that it was supposed to be. Because he may not be alive anymore, but the world will always remember the name Kira. Because he made it so. Criminals, or those who want to be criminals, are just going to say, hey, wait a minute. Even if he's dead, reported dead or something like that. Yeah, and just like, on the off chance that he is still watching, maybe I should not. But yeah, that's my take on it. In game. So, who's next?
The boy Lelouch, who brought back democracy to Japan.
You said he brought democracy to Japan?
Brought it back.
Oh.
Get it right.
I just love how you say get it right. Just like, oh well, excuse me.
She never fully completes it, because I don't know if the manga's still going on, but in the last chapter that was made, she was summoned to the capital, and the person summoned to the capital is someone that God is controlling, so is like her final matchup with God. So it's not done yet.
It's never yet.
It isn't over yet.
So precisely so. There should have got triggered.
I think anyone who actually still plays Universe religiously would have gotten triggered by what I just said. Those words that I will not repeat.
Boy, you still plays Universe. Stop.
I mean, I'm someone who loves. It isn't over yet.
All right, best anti-hero, Scar.
Full Metal, yes. Because he's a villain, but he has so much heart.
And his redemption arc, can I say? Because first off, his whole entire people was slaughtered by the military, Mustang included. His brother was killed. He took his brother's arm, connected it, sewed it onto his arm, which I don't want to know how much that shit must have hurt her.
A lot.
Like, just a lot. There is no set amount.
Yeah, just a lot.
He has his ambitions. His plans to take out the entire military for what they did at Ishval.
Which I don't blame.
Which he murders them by just simply grabbing their skull and shocking them. Which on pen and paper sounds basic, but he does it. It is terrifying.
Okay, so was that in game for you? Just like,
oh no, his end game. What was Scar's end game? Oh, it's to kill all military.
Which he doesn't accomplish because
he has to change their heart.
Brothers.
Oh wait, no, I thought we were talking about the same three people.
Oh no, Tanya just like Senku doesn't reach her end game.
Yeah. I mean, Senku. I'm about to say we don't know if Senku's going to. Like, they could very easily kill Senku off before he's there.
Tanya's manga still isn't finished. So once it finishes and Senku finishes, we can come back and finish it.
All right, now I raise you one more thing out of all this, and out of all of this, these were regular people who were just antagonists that are becoming the rulers of the world. Besides, what's his name from Code Geass? Unless he is a normal person who just got the power of the Geass for no reason.
That is literally what happens in episode 1.
So he got it for no reason.
Student with a sense of justice, wrong place, wrong time. It just so happened that he was the one to inherit it, and it gave him that power to take back what he didn't even know was stolen from him yet.
Ooh. Okay, so yeah. So basically, Light is the only person right now from we were discussing had fully met his goals before death, even though they were kind of snatched away from him when he lost the game.
Like on loose, yeah. Senku's not done, Tanya's not done. John Payne mentioned Scar for a bit, but yeah, Scar. He had a complete change of heart.
What's another really good anti-hero?
An anti-hero who's a protagonist? I will give you Ainz Ul Gon.
Who?
The ruler of the great tomb of Nazarick.
For what anime?
Overlord.
I'm not Lamante.
Yeah, he's honestly the only person who could talk over.
I said I love for Lamante. He barely gets on the system anymore, but he's the only one who can talk about it. Nikki can hook that bitch up real quick.
But yeah, okay. So out of everything we discussed, who is the best for the criteria that they fulfilled? Because I think Light had a full circle and did it well. As in, like, he had a goal, he set out to do it with the means to do it, and he actually did.
I mean, I'm not saying he did it. It's just me personally. I don't know. I just don't like light.
That are just, even for a villain, just cruel.
Wait, who?
Like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, some of the ways
like
he kills
that
those
one,
people.
The one girl, remember she kept trying to get in contact with his dad?
Yeah, and then he somehow got her name and then made her commit suicide. And she knew
Yep.
instantly.
After that conversation they had in the rain, then he finally convinced her to trust him and give him her personal information. And right from there,
He did what he was
he
supposed to
was
do.
giggling, he was laughing. It was so funny to him, and it's not funny. It's a sad moment because she was obviously trying to get justice for
The
her
person
husband.
that he killed, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
It was
just like, wow.
no.
And then she met his eyes when he had that smirk. And she was just like,
Yeah, and she saw it and she figured out right there her moment of death, which
this
hurt
is
even
Kira.
more.
Fucking ass.
But yeah, so then we have military boy girl who
Alright, I will step on you.
don't.
That goes for Saber too.
Stop. King
Alright,
Arthur
but-
exists in the Fate fandom. Stop.
Alright, just Tanya. It is a grown man in the body of a little girl.
Okay, so
Ultimate handicap.
from start to finish, they have good motivation. I will give you. They have good motivation. Their means of going through with their motivation it's good, but at the same time it's like contrived. You know, like I don't really buy that this person could really, in the body that they inhabit now, would be able to do what they set out to do. You know?
Alright, give Tanya 10 years.
I would say, give it. Because in
Because-
the manga right now she's 13, so just 6 more years.
And plus they didn't finish their journey, so they're less complete. And then you got the old guy from Code Geass who's just like you said, they lost their way midway through. Kind of like Light did, but Light won in the end. So he was allowed to.
The only reason Luz loses his way is his sister's safe, but he's in this position of power where he doesn't know what to do next because he's a leader, not a ruler.
Yeah.
So working with the Black Knight, he could do, but ruling an entire country, he could not. So he was like,
He was cracking
only
under the
one
pressure.
thing he sees. Yeah, that's exactly what he was doing. So because he. So what he does is he reverses it and makes everything that the people hate him. And when he's assassinated, they rejoice
It brings
and actually fix the country to the peaceful way it was.
Okay, so did he allow himself to be assassinated, or was it just an actual sudden
Yes.
moment? He was just like,
Most of his deaths were planned on his part.
you're here. Very well then, end me quickly. Blah.
It was Suzaku both times, his best friend.
Wow.
Yep, because Suzaku catches him, finds out he's Zero, and he shoots him. But he has to Gigas, and he can't die if he has to Gigas. So what he does is shoots him. He gets Lelouch comes back a couple of days later, but no one believes that it's truly him because Suzaku shot him in the head.
Yeah. Okay.
And that second time where he takes the sword to the heart, he honestly accepts himself and lets himself die. And
Alright.
Alright, we want to start arguing with this one. I wanted to do the same thing.
Listen. We have already reached that hour mark, so this is going to be final things.
Restart this bitch.
I will make a new short play, but like, who is the one out of everyone we discussed so far who is the best protagonist? Because we need a definitive.
Yeah, it's between lighter time. Yeah, I can't.
His mindset, seeing everything as a chess game, is
boring.
Yeah, boring.
Okay.
Because you're honestly, when it comes to Code Geass, you're gonna have a lot more fun with characters like Colin, Suzaku, his sister. She's in the wheelchair. She's blonde. I forgot her name.
Yo.
She has all these problems going on with her, but only reason she's in the wheelchair is because when
that's Joey's
they
sister.
were assaulted and their mom died when she was little. Yeah, she was handicapped. And from there, she proceeded to lose her eyesight because she didn't take care of herself.
Alright then. So, that's one reason why he's not best protagonist then. Because...
Oh no. Because everything he did was for his little sister and to avenge his mom. And once he does that, he's kind of pointless.
Honestly, out of everyone we've talked about thus far, and the motivations they went through, I'd still have to give it to Light. He fulfilled his role as a protagonist, evil or not. He fulfilled his role to the fullest. Now, Senku is a good protagonist. He's a great protagonist. But until we get that moment of science can't solve everything, and then science does somehow... Yeah, like... And like if it gets to the point in Dr. Stone to where science can't solve everything and he has to do something outside of his element and he does it and he goes back to being his normal self just with that changed mentality, that will make me say he is definitively better than anyone we've mentioned thus far.
Yeah.
Alright.
I think we should wait until the thing's over and done with first. But one thing, and I'm just gonna say this, and I'm gonna run through this quickly. Ishigami, he's a protagonist, and while he's not a villain, he is most certainly not a good guy because his motivation is he gets trapped in this not even video game. He gets trapped in this world, right? And he's just like, well, I was the only one logged onto this game that involves Yggdrasil, as if you haven't heard that name enough times in, anime with game concepts. But he gets trapped in there, and it's basically a real world where all the NPCs aren't NPCs anymore. They're actually real people now.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Overlord. And so... power by getting subordinates from this world, and I'll see if I can find any of my missing friends, because some of them have to be here by that logic, the best players of the game in the world, he starts to very slowly get his name out there. Not only as the evil overlord of Nazarick, Ishigami, but as someone who literally makes it up to adamantite, which is the highest class of hero in this current world, like the span of 5 days. So he does that. He slowly expands the like the sheer numbers of his kingdom as well as the followers, and soon, and this is gonna be like, I'm zipping through this because Overlord is just like point A, season 2, season 3, we have point B, and point B is only an idea, not actually point B. Season 4, where are you at? But it, like, basically, we're just like, listen, if the only way to get my ideals is to subjugate this world, this entire world,
The strongest. The strongest. That's the generation kids. I'm watching the last couple of episodes of Naruto. It's a good time for a wedding part.
okay, finishing up, just like, hey, it wasn't my plan to subjugate. Bless you. My subordinates thought that it was my idea to subjugate the world, and I'm going along with it because it'll help me find the people I'm looking for. So again, season 4, where you at? But yeah, it's just like, everyone in this world tries to turn against him, and he literally just says, you know what? One spell. That's about 500, maybe 2,000 instantly. Bless you again. What is wrong? Oh no. But yeah, Eins Ulgon, the ruler of the Great Tomb of Nazarick, one of the more obvious shonen protagonists, because not only is this man one of the biggest threats to the world ever, he is also one of the biggest crutches to the world ever, because everyone who knows the hero name Momon of Darkness depends on Momon of Darkness. And then when it comes to people who are facing Ainz, it's just like, we have the strongest warrior in the world on our side. And then it's just like, oh, do you now? I wonder where they could be. It's just that weird, fucked up scenario. It's just like, hey, I could save y'all if I were 2 people at once, and I had to keep up the charade. And I probably could do that, but I don't wanna, so I won't. And I'm not. Basically, what I'm getting at is, he is the most basic of shonen protagonists, but he is, you know, like, his motivations are different.
Like isekai protagonist.
You can call it that at the moment, because he has 2 love interests, but because he's an undead and thus he feels nothing, he can't really return those feelings at all, even if he wanted to. And plus, he's an undead, even if it wasn't isekai anime. It's not going anywhere with the relationships. Undead meaning he's a skeleton.
Home being thrown into a world when he's like massively overpowered. So kind of like Cautious Hero, Konosuba, ReZero, those type shows.
Yeah. Alright, but yeah, that's basically where this is gonna end. Light Yagami wins this, because his story's complete. And until the stories for the other 2 people are complete, this debate shall go on in the comment section below and whatever happens on Twitter, in all honesty. If this goes that far. I hope this does not go that far. This was just a fun debate, and if it actually does go that far, that's surprising.
Oh no.
Alright, guys. But, yes. Oh my god, my camera. That is enough of